Hello. Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Big up to everyone. I've got to lean back a little bit more than normal because I've hurt my neck. So if it looks like I'm slouching, it's because I am. I hurt my neck earlier on today, and I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done to it, but I've done something, and not feeling particularly great. But the news doesn't wait for my neck to get better. So smash the like button if you haven't already. Big up to everyone. And there you go. Strike while the cheese is warm. That is a new one. I haven't heard that before. Why is my StreamYard messing up again? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. There you go. That's better. What else is not working well? What else? I've got a background. That's good. All right. Big up to CFC Footballetics. Always a pleasure, mate. Big up to Bob Marshall. Thank you very much for the kind message, Breezy. Yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with my sleep, guys. I'm a tennis coach, so I have a physical job, and that's why I hurt myself. So it wasn't a forehand, it was a serve, funny enough. Don't know what it is, threw the ball up, went to swing, and I've just done my neck. Can't say I've done it before. There's a first time for everything. So I just can't really lean forward. I can, but, you know, maybe I'm just being a wuss. Good to see you, Jordan. Always a pleasure, my friend. Good to see Didi in the building. Yo. Daniel, always a pleasure, mate. He says, I think Delap will do well at Chelsea because he played with Cole Palmer and Lavia at City. That's fair. No, not particularly well at the moment, but we'll do well. Hope the birthday party. Good memory, Jordan. Yes, it was very good. It wasn't my birthday. For those of you who are watching, it was my girlfriend's birthday. Let's just say I checked my bank statement afterwards, and it wasn't great. Let's just say that. So let's just put it like that. Delap will do well, and it will be ironic given all the money we've spent on other strikers. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, mate. I think Delap will be a success. I really do. Gondi says, evening, mate. Good to see you, Gondi. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with my sleep. Nothing to do with my sleep. I had a thing with my neck before. It's just, it was tennis. It wasn't anything to do with sleep. Stretching as well. Yeah. Oh no. I need to. Bring in Maignan. Sorry, I mate. Maignan. Good one. Good to see you, Amir. Always a pleasure, mate. Good to see you in the building. If it's any consolation, I've had a dead leg all day because I was playing football with my son yesterday. Oh, well, maybe that makes me feel slightly better. Although I don't really have the issue with dead legs. That's not really something I had too much. Thing is, right, if one of your legs doesn't work, you can use the other one. If your neck's not feeling great, you've only got one. So you're thinking, what do I turn to now? I can't really compensate with anything else because everything else is supporting the neck itself. There you go. Al Hilal are offering 30 million a year to Osman. Doesn't surprise me. You'll probably end up going there. Good to see Jenksy in the building. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for the kind message. Appreciate that. Of course, we were going to get the lap. Absolutely. Everyone knew it. Need to stop sucking on your... All right. Good to see... yes. You didn't know that? Wow. Well, then you've learned something. No after parties, guys. Party was done at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I had work. So there you go. Anyway, let's dive What the hell are these comments? Oh my God. Where the hell do we start from this? Where the hell do we start? Well, let's start off with getting up to 50 likes. Let's start off with that because you know what? Usually I'm feeling life is good. I'm not in any pain. Today I'm in pain. So I'm asking for 50 likes straight off the back. I need all I can get. All right, I need all I can get. I'm not feeling great. I'm doing better than DD, who had the Viagra in his neck. It's not that stiff. All right, it's not that stiff. Smash the like button, people. Let's get straight up to 50. Okay. So if we go on the official Chelsea website, I'll share my screen with you. You can see this, which is Chelsea complete the Liam Delap transfer. So we'll go through that and we'll go through what Liam Delap had to say as well. This came out an hour ago, very recent. He says Chelsea is delighted to announce the transfer of Liam Delap from Ipswich Town, with the striker signing a contract until 2031. An England under-21 international, Delap struck 12 times in the Premier League during the 24-25 campaign and was shortlisted for the Young Player of the Year award. He said, I understand the stature of this club and I see the trajectory it's on with these players and the head coach. It's going to be an incredible place for me to develop, and I hope to achieve amazing things here and help the club win more trophies. Delap started his career in Derby County's academy before joining Man City in 2019. After a season with the club's under-18s, he stepped up to the elite development squad where he played under the current Blues head coach, Enzo Maresca. The striker enjoyed a standout campaign, netting 24 goals in 20 Premier League 2 matches, scoring on his debut for City's senior side in the League Cup, and was handed his first top-flight appearance against Leicester City. Further first-team appearances followed during the 21-22 seasons when he embarked on loan spells at Stoke City and Preston North End. Delap spent the 23-24 season with Hull, and after scoring 8 goals, secured a move to newly promoted Ipswich Town. The 22-year-old produced on the Premier League stage with 12 goals struck for the Tractor Boys in 37 appearances. Delap has also represented England throughout the youth age groups, with his last caps coming from the under-21s in March. Welcome to Chelsea, Liam Delap. Leave a message. Please score goals. That's my message for you, Liam. There you go. We'll show Liam soon. Well, I expect that to be covered. I expect that to be on camera as well. So I want him to read that. Let's leave it at that. So yeah, Liam Delap, there you go. If I put ice cubes on my foreheads, it will help release the tension. Oh God. Yeah, number 90 would make sense, to be fair. Is this true, guys? Or is Brendan trolling me? Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Is Brendan being sincere here? I don't feel like he is. Oh, he actually is? Nah. Well, I appreciate the super chat. Bob says it's true. Really? I'm going to check this very quickly. Where does it say that? That's exactly what I was thinking, Richard. Don't know who to believe anymore. I don't know who to believe. No, I didn't drink, guys. I didn't drink. I want to be very clear. I did not drink. I hurt myself. I'm in pain, physical pain, not hangover pain. Anyway, so we've seen what Chelsea have said regarding the Liam Delap deal, which is great that finally it's over the it's done, isn't it? I mean, we've waited long enough, haven't we? This is his first interview. It's not it's all quotes. Can we not see a video or something? Anyway, the title is I've Come to Win Trophies. Football has always been a part of Liam Delap's life. Perhaps that is why little appears to faze the 22-year-old. He knows what the game demands. He understands the expectations. It's why he feels ready for Chelsea. The net in front of the Matthew Harding stand ripples, and Liam Delap instantly turns away, ready to receive the next ball. That one is dispatched too, and another, all while photographs are being taken and video is captured. The technique is second nature to the striker, yet one powerful attempt crashes against the crossbar and bounces away. That miss is what Delap reflects upon after the shoot. It's a window into the uncompromising mindset of a player who struck 12 Premier League goals last season. It's also a firm indication of the standards Delap sets for himself. He has not arrived at Chelsea by chance. It has taken years of hard work and dedication. The journey has been important. And this is what Liam Delap had to say. It's a lifetime of graft. Since I was 8 or 9 years old, I was focused on football. I never wanted to do anything else, and I've given everything I could to make it happen. It's such a long and hard period, and things can be tough for you, but I've always enjoyed it. I just love football. I'd be playing with my mates if I wasn't a professional. Fortunately, I'm all right at it, and I'm delighted that graft has worked out, and I'm here now at Chelsea. Delap is accompanied throughout the shoot at Stamford Bridge by his mother Helen and father Rory. Of course, the latter is well known to supporters given his 20-plus year playing career, which included 14 seasons in the Premier League with Derby County, Southampton, and Stoke City. Oh my God! Yeah, we all know Rory Delap. Can't forget that man. He's the one with the long throws, right? The iconic long throws from years gone by. If you want to know where the long throws came from, if I'm not wrong, Liam Delap's dad, Rory, was the man. That's what he did. I would pull up a clip, but you know what? I don't even think that's relevant. Let's stay on topic for a bit. So it runs in the family, playing, at the highest level. This is what else Liam had to say. Some of my earliest football memories are watching him playing and launching throw-ins. That's right. That's the one. I am right. For Stoke at the Britannia, says Liam. We tried to get to as many games as possible, and I had a great upbringing in that. I was so close to it all. It gave me the feeling of football early. It was incredible and something I wanted, but I knew it wouldn't be easy. I had to work for it. I owe both mum and dad so much. I've got a younger brother and sister while dad was playing. My mum was so important to balance us and make sure we got to where we are today. I can't repay them enough, but I'm sure they are very proud, and that's what makes me happy. Liam's football journey started in the academy, blah, 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 blah. We've already heard that. He spent almost a decade with Derby County before moving to Man City in 2019. Then he became a teammate of Lavia and Cole Palmer and was coached by Enzo Maresca during the 2021 season. Powered by Delap's goals, 24 in 20 matches, City won Premier League 2 for the first time. He also made his senior debut during the campaign, scoring against Bournemouth in the League Cup. Yet with Sergio Aguero and then Erling Haaland leading the attack for Man City, further senior experiences were sought elsewhere, with Delap spending time on loan in the Championship with Stoke, Preston North End and Hull City. Delap had this to say. He said, "I had a few loans and I learnt a lot from them." He says, "You are a mixture of all these experiences, so I've taken little bits from everywhere I've been and then built it together as one. I'm always learning and developing." An important step was taken in Delap's career last summer as he left City permanently to join Ipswich Town. Then newly promoted to the Premier League, the move provided the young striker with stability and a platform to perform, something he firmly took advantage of. 6 goals were struck in his opening 11 Premier League matches for the Tractor Boys, including a winner away at Tottenham Hotspur. His 7th came in a victory over the Blues at Portman Road before 5 more were added over the remainder of the campaign. The most important thing to me was last summer was going somewhere where I could play a lot of minutes. That was the opportunity I felt I needed to go and express myself and show the player I am. Ipswich gave me that opportunity, which was so important, and I'm very grateful for that. Delap will not be short of further opportunities to prove himself at Chelsea. Next season, the Blues return to the Champions League, which we've won twice, and then it says our quest for silverware never stops. Well, we're going to find out. You know the saying, fuck around and find out? That's what we're about to do, because we fucked around. We got top 4. So now we're going to find out if we are a serious team who could actually contend at this level, or if we're just here to be here, just there for the sake of being there, like many teams. But again, we don't want to be like many teams. We want to be up there. We want to be what we have been, or a winning club, an elite club. It says he knows what the history is. He said, "Growing up watching this club, I understand the stature of it and how incredible it has been over the years. I wanted to come here to win trophies. When I spoke to the club, everyone wanted to get back to the very top, and they have the quality and the players to do that. The hunger and desire to keep adding trophies, to take the club back to where it belongs. That is the main objective." Well said, Liam. And I don't really think you can dispute anything he's saying. I mean, everything that Delap's saying is fair enough. And I think it's a great signing. I really do. I think it's a signing that can benefit us in so many different ways as well. First of all, the fact that he's just supremely underrated. I think that people obviously like Delap, but nobody's really. People are hyping him up, but they're not hyping him up as if he was a 50, 60 million pound striker. They're like, "Oh, okay, we've got Delap. It's good business." Now, it's not the same caliber as what we're talking about with Maignan from AC Milan. We're not sitting here saying, "Oh my God, we've got a ready-made player who's cheap, experienced, won things, good at every aspect, has proven himself over a number of years, and we're still potentially going to get him on a bargain," which, to be fair, we are going to talk about Maignan as well. That deal, for me, you know what? That deal is playing out how I expected it to play out. I'm not surprised about what's going on with Manon, and I still think there's genuinely a chance that we can get that deal done. To be very clear. Thought you said Maignan was too old. Well, I thought he was too old for our project because we only sign kids. I mean that's obvious. So it's definitely surprising that we've approached him. There's no doubt. There's no doubt with that. But yeah, for me, like, I think Delap will cause a lot of problems. I think it will cause a lot of problems for opposition. Like we speak about Jackson as well. Jackson's a nightmare for defenders. You just can't finish. That's the thing. And I think Delap gives you a little bit more end product. That's the reality. I think Delap, when I look at his qualities and I look at Jackson's qualities, I see Delap, that player in the last 20 minutes when you're thinking, oh my days, we need to get a goal here. He is the guy I'm going to, not Jackson. Whereas Jackson's the guy that I look and I say, okay, can you give me a good performance over 90 minutes? Like generally. And I don't see many games where Jackson's ghosting. And I think maybe with Delap, you know, you might have some games where he doesn't play particularly well, but he can still bag himself a goal. And when I look at Jackson, I think he's an all-rounder, isn't he? You want Jackson needs to play well because he's not just an out-and-out finisher. He's not a Haaland. He's not a proper striker who might play bad. He's not like Nkunku. Nkunku's a good example as well. Player who doesn't really do much, but then if he gets the opportunity to score, he can do it. And he's proven that basically every season, although this season's obviously been poor. So I think Delap will just give us a little bit more end product. So if we were missing 15 goals, I think those 15 goals will easily come from Delap. Am I coming to the US for the Club World Cup? Yes, I am. I am going to be there. I will absolutely be there. Smash the like buttons, people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got about 140 of you in the building as it stands. Only 54 likes, though, people. Come on, smash that like button. Let's get up to 100. Come on, guys. Let's go. We've spoken about Delap as well. We're about to move on to Maignan. No, it's true. Keeper is different in terms of age. But, you know, the reality is, like, even if it's a goalkeeper, it's still weird, isn't it, that we're not looking at a young player? Because me and you are talking about football. That's not what Clearlake are looking at. They're looking at resale value. They're looking at how can we sell the player for more than we bought him for. And that's why I think this Maignan deal was so interesting, because Chelsea value him at a certain number. He's obviously worth considerably more. But if you look at his book value in terms of his contract, there's a real argument there. So that's why I think this negotiation is a little bit more, what's the word? Stubborn than I think a lot of people expected. But how can you know, the reality is we're money man. Milan are owned by, if I'm not wrong, an American consortium as well. You know, they're owned by essentially private equity. Are they owned by private equity, AC Milan? Not 100% sure, but they're definitely Americans involved in AC Milan. So like everybody, all they care about is money. They're not going to give away a player for free. The reality is, if I'm AC Milan, I would accept 20 million, knowing that I'm going to lose the guy on a free. And then you suck it up and you replace him with hopefully another goalkeeper you can sign cheap, who develops into a really top-class player, and then, you know, obviously you get him on a 5-year deal, and hopefully you get him to actually sign rather than Maignan, who's run his contract down. So I think it's a fair deal that Chelsea are offering if it is 20 million. But, you know, that's where we need to dive into it, really. So let's have a look. Let's see what has been said on this particular matter. Let's dive into it. Okay. So Ben Jacobs has been on with Pies, and he did a little Q&A. And what he said was, Chelsea don't see 20 to 25 million pounds as a number they want to pay for Maignan. They're starting low, and if they can meet in the middle or get close to the 8.5 million pound valuation, then great. If not, then there's no drama. Okay, so that's interesting, actually. Well, let's see if I can lean forward. Oh, I'm struggling. It's my neck. Oh, okay, I can't. 8.5 million is that's a terrible valuation. I'll be honest with you, that's a disgusting valuation. I didn't realize it was that. I mean, if that's genuinely what we're looking at. Yeah, I'll be honest, man. 8.5 mil. Yeah, but they're not bidding 8.5 million, are they? Are they bidding 8.5 million for Maignan? I thought that they were offering 20. Am I being silly here? AC Milan still considers Maignan as one of the best goalkeepers in the world and don't want to let him go cheap. Chelsea feel if the player is not extending and he goes out of contract next summer, he's worth £8.5 million. It's got to be worth more than 8.5, surely. I mean, if I was to ask you in the chat, how much do you think that Maignan is worth? I would be inclined to say he's worth more than 8.5 million. And when you talk about his valuation as well, I want to be really clear. We're not talking about his valuation if he had 3-4 years left on his deal. We are talking about his valuation with a year left on his contract. And on top of that, he will be 30 next month. So we will be signing a 30-year-old goalkeeper, not a 29-year-old goalkeeper. We keep saying 29, he's going to be 30. In the grand scheme of it, like we've spoken about Uncle Tossing, if we get Maignan, it will be great-grandfather Mike Maignan, because that man is older than all of our squad, literally. I would say, to be honest with you, you've got to look at what they paid for him as well. And there's a reason that they won't accept £8.5 million. It's because they won't make a profit on what they paid for him, because they paid just over £16 million from Lille to sign Mike Maignan in 2021. So they're going to be looking to at least try and make a profit. So I think if you really want the player, you have to try and meet, and so everybody has a good deal. The reality is he's got a year left on his contract. He could probably go for 30, 35 million. Maybe 40 million as a top goalkeeper. You're absolutely right, guys. I see some of the things in the chat as well. Talking about what? Was it a party you all throw your car keys in a bowl? What? I don't know what you're on about. Anyway, so yeah, for me, I'm looking at Maignan, and I'm inclined to say that he's probably worth, to AC Milan, he's probably worth at least £20 million. And I think that anything less than 20 million is not really a serious bid. 25 million is probably too high, but 20 million is fair. And if Chelsea are willing to meet him at 20 mil and negotiate with Milan in a serious way, because even lowballing someone by that much, if we've made a bid, I don't know if we've made a bid of 8.5 billion, then it's not disrespectful, but it's like, do you really want to get this deal done? Well, we signed Robert Sanchez for 25 million. And I would say Magnon's considerably better than Sanchez. We also know that goalkeepers can play extended periods compared to other players. So if a player's 30 in goalkeeping terms, that's probably like 25 for an outfield player. Is Alex one of those guys? I don't even know why I bother sometimes. Anyway, so no, for me, you've got to meet in the middle. You've got to meet in the middle as a bare minimum. I can appreciate that AC Milan are going to hold out for 25 million. We don't need Maignan, though. This is the thing this is why I'm not particularly bothered about. We don't need the guy. I'm a huge Petrovic fan. A huge Petrovic fan. Cards on the table right now. You tell me what's our priorities in terms of players we needed to sign before Maignan was in the conversation. I would have never mentioned the goalkeeper to you. I would have mentioned two centre-backs, or one centre-back, one left-back for cover for Cucurella. I would have said a striker, potentially two again. And now that Sancho's leaving as well, we can put a winger in the conversation. So I'm not in the camp of if we don't sign Maignan, it's a disaster. I'm not in that camp. There's a lot of things that we've done that's fucking horrendous. Some of our business is just strange. No doubt about it whatsoever. And you look at some of the players that we can easily get and we decide we're not going to go for them. Gyökeres is there for the taking. We've got a number of players that we could snap up. We obviously missed out on Dean Huijsen with Real Madrid. Can't really complain there. But there's still players that we can use to strengthen this squad. So I'm not going to pin all of my hopes on a goalkeeper who is really good. No doubt about it. He's a top class goalkeeper. I just think that Petrovic is good enough to represent Chelsea. I really do. I think that he's shown over the past 2 years that he's good enough. So people panicking that we're not getting this deal done, fair enough. Like even Maignan, in anyone who's watched football for a long time, you would say that he's a better keeper than Petrovic. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. But what I don't agree with, I just don't think that we need. It's not a priority, guys. It shouldn't be a priority for us. Mm-hmm. Where was this respect from Milan when they offered us 12 million for Pulisic? Chelsea are doing the right thing. Yeah, but the thing is as well, we didn't want Pulisic. Like, we didn't want him, and he didn't want to be at Chelsea. It's one of those situations where we just wanted to get rid of the guy. And he left eventually. He did leave. So Maignan, they want to keep him. It's not like you have a club that want to sell the player and are interested in selling the player. If they could give him a new contract and he would sign it, he would sign it. But he's not signing it. He's run down his deal. To be honest with you, I appreciate it. The guy's not on a ridiculous amount of money. I'm sure they'd give him a pay rise. I don't know the ins and outs of it. Maybe he just wants a new opportunity. But yeah, I mean, we're certainly doing an Italian job to the Italians. Taking revenge on AC Milan for the Pulisic deal. Someone tell Mikel to go to bed. He said Chelsea should buy Garnacho and Kobe Mano. Really? I can't say I'm with him on that one. Don't think I can actually. How do I have to go on YouTube itself. Ah, interesting. Thanks for that link. So we have had some breaking news. Big up to Amir for sharing. Breaking news. And this is according to Gianluca Di Marzio, an Italian source. AC Milan is blocking Maignan to Chelsea. New coach Allegri wants to keep the goalkeeper. So that doesn't surprise me. Although, to be honest with you, I don't think Allegri has much power in this situation. If the money's right, the money's right from a Milan perspective. But I don't think we're going to offer them 25 million. So this is just a game of who's going to give way. Nobody's giving way. It's not happening. Jordan said, if it was me, I would keep Petrovic. If we can't get this deal done, Alex, the negotiations to our club are strange. It is strange, no doubt about it. I agree. How do I pronounce that name? Kaialethu. Why Chelsea don't recall Petrovic? He can do better on the polls, even Kepa, and he have experience. The only one thing Chelsea should do, look up on European experience. So are you saying, sorry, are you trying to say that we should get Petrovic and bring him in, or are you saying that we should get European experience with Manon, just to be clear? He is a serious keeper, though. This is what annoys me, is people don't take Petrovic seriously. We have seen enough within the past 2 years to take him seriously. Was there another tweet? Let's have a look. Ooh. Okay. Hey, listen, this is like a proper roller coaster. I've got to be honest with you. We've got a few twists and turns in here. Mike Maignan is seriously tempted by the Chelsea offer. Chelsea have not yet submitted an offer, but they value Maignan at 15 to 20 million euros. Meanwhile, AC Milan are demanding at least 35 million euros. Again, this is euros, so in pounds, I'm guessing that's roughly what we've been speaking about anyway, which is 8.5 million from Chelsea's side, and then about 20 to 25 million pounds on AC Milan's side. AC Milan and Allegri are pushing for Maignan to stay. This is according to the Gazette in Italy. They haven't put an article out about it, but yeah, that's what they've said. To be honest with you, again, the guy's running down his contract for a reason. Probably doesn't want to stay at Milan. Maybe this is a situation where even if the valuations aren't necessarily met, if Maignan says, I want to leave, that could really play into our hands, because the last thing you want to have in any team is a player who actually doesn't want to be there. So this could do really well. I mean, Diego Costa as well is a great option. He's still a good age. He's same age as Petrovic, if I'm not wrong. He's 25. That's a great deal. I have nothing against that. But then you compare that with the other options that we have, very expensive, I can imagine. Very expensive. So that's probably why we're not hearing much about it. And I would be intrigued to know what the wages are as well in that deal. Maignan will join Chelsea. AC Milan calling bluff. He wants a new challenge. There's a good chance that that's the case. I mean, if he does go on a free, then a lot of clubs are going to come. It's not going to just be Chelsea. And then it's going to be about wages, etc. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for a free transfer. Tosin was a free transfer, and I'm a big fan of Tosin. I like Tosin. If you can get a good free transfer, Thiago Silva was a free transfer. We've had a few good ones. I mean, Silva's obviously better than Tosin. But, yeah, I think... this one could go to the wire. This one could go... Actually, I don't know. Well, it said again, Fabrizio said that they have until Monday. Let me just make sure I'm correct in saying that. Okay. Yeah, Chelsea won't wait longer than Monday, as they're also happy with the 4 goalkeepers in their squad. Oh, God. Oh, there's more. More news. Simon Phillips. Chelsea have informed Nico Williams' representatives that they are prepared to trigger his release clause of around £50 million. However, his high wage demands will present an issue. That's according to Simon Phillips. He's pretty reliable. So we would pay the money for him, but we're just not willing to pay him anything near what he earns for Bilbao. Absolutely understandable. Was it Matt Law who came out and said his salary in pounds is 300k a week? So you could sell Sterling and just replace his wages on Nico Williams. What a great way to do it. Well, nobody knows, Amir, whether we're getting Maignan or not. Nobody knows. This is the thing. We're having reports saying this is Chelsea's valuation, about 8.5 million. This is Milan's valuation, about 25 million. So obviously they've got to meet in the middle if they want something to happen. But the reality is Chelsea are going to have to budge more than Milan. And I think the only way that that changes is if Milan if Maignan says to Milan, listen, I don't want to be here. I've got no interest in being here anymore. I want to move on. I'm not signing a new deal. I want to go to Chelsea. My head's not in Italy anymore. And in that case, you're then looking at a situation where the club are almost looking to sell Maignan, apprehensively, of course, because they do want to keep him, but a bit like Kvaratskhelia at Napoli. You know, they wanted to keep him, but he didn't want to stay. So they sold the guy. And there was a reasonable bid. PSG obviously done very, very well with the top player. So I do think if we did get Maignan, it would be, I think it would be 20 million or higher. I don't think it would be lower than that. Because they've spent 16 million on the guy. They're not going to make a loss. They don't want to make a loss. They'd rather probably just get another season out of him. I don't know. Better than nothing. I mean, if we got that deal done for 8.5 million, that would be criminal. But, you know, who knows? Ashley says, bro, Alex, in all seriousness, we are Chelsea playing in the Champions League. Let's be honest, Man United made better deals than us. Liverpool and City is clear of us regarding deals and their squad. Mate, the transfer window opened, 3 days ago? Let's just calm down. Let's relax a little bit. And let's not act like we haven't done business. If anything, we've been more organized than all of those clubs. We've already got Asugo and Andre Santos coming into the squad. Petrovic is going to feel like a brand new signing because we fucked him off to Strasbourg. So there's 3 players coming in that can make an instant impact. And we've got Delap, who I think will improve our team. People go, oh, he's not Osman. And you're right. You know, you're not wrong. But he's still a direct improvement on what we had. Okay. I look at Delap and I say, okay, is he improving us? Yes or no? Clear yes. Am I excited by him? Yes, I am. So when people are saying that, you know, we have no ambition at the moment, we're not doing deals, I am not on the side of, you know, I don't love Blueco. I don't like the way that we operate as a club. I think that everything is done with one thing in mind, and that is the financial end game of Clearlake, which is to sell the club short term by 2033, and with Bowley to hold on to the club for a long term sale and you know, probably hold on to Chelsea for 20, 30 years. That's the only difference with our owners. One owner wants to, you know, side of the consortium wants to prop us up in value and then get rid of us. And the other one wants to hold on to Chelsea and milk it for everything it's worth, get it to the top of the value that you can possibly get it, and then sell it for, you know, billions, likely more than he paid for it. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. Honestly, we'll have to wait and see. But I agree with Jenksy here. I really do. I think the most logical thing is to just keep Petrovic. We're having these debates about Maignan, and I'm not sitting here saying that I don't want him. If the opportunity is there to sign Mike Maignan, and I had to say yes or no, I would say yes. I would say yes. I would say thumbs up. Clear upgrade, experience. He's won things. He's a French international, playing at the highest level. He has a lot of the qualities that we attribute you know, to what Maresca would want. I think he'd fit in very well. But I also think that Petrovic can do very well. So, you know, we're not sitting here saying that, oh, we haven't got a goalkeeper, we're in big trouble. We've got loads of goalkeepers. And out of all of those goalkeepers, I believe we have one who has genuinely, I believe Petrovic has world-class potential. World-class. I think he could be a top goalkeeper. And that's why I'm not really that bothered about this whole situation. Like, if this was Osman, let's just imagine this was Osman and we were haggling over 5 million, nothing short of a disgrace. Because we know we need a striker. We know we need goals. We know that's a key position. We are not desperate for a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper is not the number one concern at Chelsea Football Club. It's not even been a conversation to me in terms of signing a goalkeeper because you've already got so many of them. So I just don't, you know, 30 million for one of the best keepers and we're playing around. Again, like, you're right. You're not wrong, Ashley. You're not wrong. He is one of the best goalkeepers. You are absolutely correct. But I don't see giving Petrovic an opportunity as a similar conversation to giving Sanchez or Jorgensen an opportunity, because Sanchez, we've known he's not been good enough for a long time, and Jorgensen never really played at this level, so that was always going to be unclear. Similar with Mike Penders, similar with you know, Slanina and a lot of those other guys. Whereas Petrovic, over the past 2 years, I really struggle to criticize what Petrovic has done for Chelsea. You know, he was never asked to pass the ball out from the back under Poch. So difficult to look at it from that perspective. But he was always a great shot stopper. He did really well in big moments for us. He was a safe pair of hands. I felt safe seeing Petrovic in goal. He calmed me down. Can't say I felt that this season with Sanchez in goal. I haven't been calm. If anything, I don't check my blood pressure, but it's probably gone up. And then I think one thing that Petrovic has really improved on is his ability to distribute the ball well. His stats have been some of the best in Europe. Absolutely sensational in terms of his range of passing. 0 mistakes leading to goals. 0 mistakes, if I'm not wrong, leading to goal-scoring opportunities. So many positive things to talk about with Petrovic. And look, I'm not going to pet everything on this guy and say that he's going to be the savior of Chelsea Football Club, but I have absolute faith in the guy. I have faith in him. I trust him. I think he's a good player. Yes, so we'll see what happens on Monday. And by the way, if we get this deal done, it's great negotiating from our part. But it proves that, you know, sometimes a club just needs to sell a player, even if they don't want to. They might need to, because if the player doesn't want to play for you, then you're stuck. I think we've got to give Petrovic more credit, Gav. I think you've got to give him more credit, mate, honestly. The type of performance we're seeing from Petrovic, if we saw from Robert Sanchez those performances, we would be well clear. Like, we wouldn't even be talking about a goalkeeper. We would have just kept Sanchez. No, I haven't seen the video of Scholes talking about Caicedo. What did he say? I don't blame you, Amir. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say mixed messages, but just people saying different things that clash. So I can understand if you're a little bit confused. Just think of it like this. You got Chelsea who believe that Magnon's value is 8.5 million. You've got Milan who think he's worth about 20, 25. Big difference in valuation. Chelsea, I'm sure they've spoken to Maignan. I mean, God, they must have spoken to him. Anyway, he seems to be persuaded and very tempted to come to Chelsea. He seems to really like the opportunity to come. You've got Allegri, the new manager, who's coming, who wants him to stay. AC Milan want him to stay. I'm sure they want him to sign a new contract as well, which is not signed for however many years, and I doubt he will sign from now. So, just in a bit of a pickle, really. Well, Milan are, not so much us, and we're basically just trying to take the piss and pull their pants down and get a cheap deal. He questioned the impact Caicedo has on the team, basically said he's not that great and doesn't excel in anything at all. Well, yeah, zero ball knowledge then. Never watches Caicedo, probably. Always talk about Petro. He had one good season in France, which is a dead league. People forget how horrific he was for us last time. He wasn't horrific, though. I mean, that's just not true at all, is it? He was good for us. He was solid. That's why when he came into the squad, Sanchez then, when he became fit again, never got back in, because obviously you're going to trust Petrovic over Robert Sanchez. I mean, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. He nowhere near horrendous. It was quality. That's a terrible take, mine. Yeah, maybe it is PR. You know, who knows? Honestly, who knows? No, I mean, that's different, isn't it, though? Because Petrovic was very young when we signed him. He was a very young goalkeeper. And I don't know how long did Petrovic spend at Chelsea? My God, 10, 11, 12 years? 11 years? He must have been... How old was Petrovic when he signed for us? He must have been in his early to mid-20s. Let's have a look. He was at us, Chelsea, for 11 years. Yeah, 11 years. How old was he when we signed him? Yeah, he was like 23 or 22 when we signed him. So, I mean, it's totally different to Maignan. Totally different. Clearly, it would have been all over Petrovic by that logic. Although I don't know what the wages were like. Maybe that could have been an issue. Who knows? So I don't think you can compare the two. I don't think you can compare the two. Because, again, when we're talking about Petrovic, it's not just that Petrovic is a decent keeper. He's a decent young keeper. And that's something that fits in very well. If Maignan was 25 and Petrovic was 29, almost 30, then I think I'd be much more for the signing of Maignan. But he's 5 years older, and it's not going to be the end of the world if we don't sign him. That's the reality. And absolutely, do you know what? Sanchez does deserve credit for the last few games of the season. He does deserve credit for that. I'm absolutely with you on that. But that doesn't diminish all of the other horrendous games that he had. It's like saying that you're a husband to a wife and, I don't know, you were married for 20 years and 15 of those years you were cheating on her. But for the last 5 years of your relationship, you were great. You were quality. But for 15 years, you cheated on her. Are you a good husband, even though you were good for the last 5 years? Doesn't take away from what happened before. So that's the best way I can describe it. I don't know why. It always seems to be relationships, and I don't know why that stuff pops into my head. But how else can you compare it? I don't know what other analogy can I think of? Yeah, fuck it. Don't waste my time. Anyway, that's called an American evangelical marriage. They cheated on us. Yeah. This is what I'm saying, mate. This is what I'm saying. Good to see you, mate. He's a great number one. Do not be fooled. Just because he didn't cost 10, well, he would have cost more than 10 million, but because he didn't cost 50 million quid, doesn't mean he's not a good player. Petrovic he's been a great signing for us. We really undervalue him. Not just the fan base, the fucking ownership. Being willing to accept bids of 25 million euros, I'm hearing. I mean, what are you talking about? That is a goalkeeper that's worth, for me, 40 million at least. At least. You're paying 40 million at least for Jamie Gittins. Petrovic is more proven than Jamie Gittins. I trust Petrovic to go in Chelsea and perform. I trust him to do that. I really do. I don't know what I'm going to get from Jamie Gittins, but apparently he's worth 40 million pounds anyway. And you're telling me that Petrovic is worth 25. Absolutely not. Terrible business if we sell him. But again, I'm not against the signing of Maignan. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm against it, because I'm not. But I'm just not bothered if we don't do it. That's the reality. We've got over 140 of you in the building, guys. 84 likes as it stands. Get me to 100. Come on, guys. Smash that like button. Big up to all of you. Appreciate your time. I've been up here streaming since, 10 past 10. Still going. Still consistent. I couldn't do the lunch show. It was my girlfriend's birthday. So that's why Nina and Charlie won the lunch show. But I hope you enjoyed that if you did tune in as well. And I will be back tomorrow. Although I probably won't. I don't know if we will have a lunch show tomorrow. I say that because we're going to be in the studio recording the podcast. So, Nah, screw it. I'll probably still stream. I'll probably still do it. Who cares? I'll be back. Of course I will. Listen, guys, I really appreciate all your time. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about Maignan. Let me know what you think about Delap as well being confirmed. What's your thoughts on Petrovic? Seems to be a lot of conversation surrounding him as well. But hey, time will tell. We'll either get a new goalkeeper or be stuck with one of the goalkeepers that we've already signed. Either way, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. That's the reality, in my opinion. Big up.